Laura. It is 8 o'clock in Italy.
It's alla 8 alla 9.
Hanno cambiato
8.
l'orario.
Okay.
Change the hour.
So your time has changed then.
Yes.
La ora è cambiato.
Adesso abbiamo l'ora solare, sun hour.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we haven't had our time change here yet.
Next week.
Next
La
week.
prossima settimana.
La prossima settimana.
La prossima settimana.
I slip into Spanish all the time. People are still joining. We're getting people joining, but I'm going to go ahead and formally introduce the meeting today.
Hi, everybody.
Ciao, Leonora.
Leonora.
I didn't calculate the timing. I thought
Infatti.
Yeah, we were just talking about the time change.
I left it too late from Carlentini. I'm still driving. I'm sorry. I forgot.
It's okay, no worries. Okay, so today is November 1st. La prima di novembre.
Il 1° di novembre.
My grandfather's birthday. He would have been
And
125.
Here in the United States, it is what we call All Saints Day.
Anche da noi, All Saints
Yeah.
Day.
Even
La
in
festa di
Italy.
tutti, la
In
festa
Italia,
di tutti
ogni
i
santi,
santi.
ogni santi.
It's the same. Tutti i santi, all the same.
The Catholic Church celebrates it all over the world.
Mhm.
Stamattina
Yeah,
c'è stata la
so,
messa al cimitero.
So years ago, when I was in the Methodist Church in Reno, Nevada, they asked me to become what's called a lay speaker, and not clergy, but lay. And lay speaker. And one of the first speeches that I gave in church was on All Saints Day. And I talked about the saints of my family history. And there was one woman in particular that was my grandfather's sister on my mom's side. It's not the Italian side, but she was the saint of our family history because she preserved all of the photos, and she had all these little notes associated with each of the photos, and she had stories about the immigrants, and I just got so much information from her. So
Silvana, stai capendo?
Per giù, ho capito che aveva una zia che conservava tutte cose e quindi lui ha preso molte informazioni da questa zia.
Esatto, le ha raccontate come sua prima esperienza di facilitatore di racconti nello stato del Nevada. Fu scelto per per dare questi discorsi sulle famiglie.
Sì.
Silvana understood almost everything. Good. Very good.
Sto imparando, un po' di inglese lo sapevo, però così.
Now you're learning.
Dobbiamo
so
fare.
I think a lot of us become also the family archivists, that we end up saving things for the family, pictures, etc. So does anybody, we actually work at a hotel on Halloween. Does anybody have any Halloween stories from last night?
Sta chiedendo se qualcuno ha delle storie divertenti per quanto riguarda Halloween dello scorso notte.
Noi no. Per noi è domani la festa.
I can, we have cameras from, they're called ring cameras, and it's this home security system. So we were able to watch all the little kids knocking on our door and walking away disappointed.
Io ho una storia molto triste su Halloween, non so se la posso raccontare.
Silvana has a sad story about
Su Halloween.
cosa?
Halloween. Perché
Which
mio zio, quello che è morto in America, è morto proprio il giorno di Halloween. E quindi
My uncle, the one who immigrated to the United States, he died the day of Halloween. Perché? Why?
è morto il 31 ottobre del 1966. Mia nonna era in America e non capiva il fatto che i bambini bussassero alla porta perché volevano le caramelle.
So
quando...
he died on October 31st, 1966. And her grandma, she didn't understand why the kids, they used to knock the door that night.
E si doveva ridere per forza. Mia nonna piangeva, però lui non poteva piangere perché era una giornata di allegria. Per cui...
and they had to smile to the kids. They were forced according to the protocol, but that day she was super sad and she was crying and all the kids knocking to her door. She had to force herself to smile to them.
Quando è tornata dall'America ci ha raccontato che il 31 ottobre in America era carnevale. Noi non, nel 66 in Italia.
When she came back home, she said everybody that October 31st in United States is Carnival.
Per lei era carnevale.
Oh,
Ma qui allora non si conosceva Halloween. Per noi bambini era una cosa assurda, proprio incredibile.
For the people here that they were not aware, they weren't aware about Halloween at all, was something that was out of the world. They couldn't understand.
Non capivamo proprio. Poi nel tempo è arrivata anche qui la festa di Halloween. Adesso si fa in una maniera esagerata, diciamo.
Now little by little it has arrived over here as well. So the kids now they want to get dressed and have parties for Halloween.
Sì.
Well, Mika, I shared with you some pictures. In the meanwhile, that other guests they think about a special story to share about Halloween. I'm connected with my telephone, but maybe Silvana can help describing those typical desserts of all scents that we make in this moment of the year, just in Carlentini area.
Allora, intanto vi faccio vedere i biscotti dei morti, che ce li ho qua, li vedi? No. Queste sono le rame di Napoli. Biscotto tipico.
Io ce l'ho.
Anche io ce li ho, il Totò e il rame di Napoli.
Allora, ho chiesto a Nick di mostrare una foto.
Questo invece è tutto dal vivo, non c'è bisogno del foto.
So Silvana, she's describing two type of cookies. One is called the rame di Napoli, and the other one is called the Totò, that is like a truffle made by sugar and chocolate.
Allora,
guarda cosa ho trovato in internet.
Queste
Questa
sono
è la cotognata.
Sì, questa è la cotognata e poi c'è anche la mostarda dentro. Quelle sono le formine della mostarda.
Sì, in this moment of the year, everybody in Sicily prepares those candies that are made with those special molds in ceramic, and it's queen's apples marmalade with the sugar and cornstarch, and then we let it dry in those molds under the sun for a couple of days. Silvana, do you make mostarda?
Io l'ho fatta quest'anno, la mostarda, quella di uva, che a me piace quella.
Ci metti, do you put cornstarch? Ci metti l'amido di mais tu?
No, l'amido normale. No, anzi,
No.
ti dirò. Noi usiamo la farina di grano duro e un po' di...
flour.
Sì, e poi ci mettiamo anche un po' di amido, però non di mais, amido normale. E senza zucchero, perché la mostarda si fa senza zucchero.
Ah, no sugar. Ok, no sugar. And how many days
La marmellata sì, invece, la marmellata sì, si fa con lo zucchero.
quanti giorni bisogna farle stare sotto il sole? How many days?
Guarda, io non la mangio, io la mangio fresca, non mi piace quella messa sotto il sole. Io la faccio e la mangio come un budino.
Ah, Silvana, she likes it with the spoon. So when it's just cooked, she doesn't like the hard version. But if we let it dry under the sun, they become like.
Metto dentro una bella quantità di mandorle tritate di sopra nel piatto. Dovrei avere una foto. Se la trovo, te la faccio vedere.
This is typical of those days in Carlentini. And then the other picture.
What is before you go, what was the yellow fruit that was in there?
It's called the queen's apple.
Le mele cotogne.
Quince, Quince, quince apple?
Like a queen, yeah. It's a variety of apple that is very, very slippery in your mouth. So when you eat them, they are very strange to be eaten.
Non si possono mangiare.
You cannot eat them. They are too bad. So seeing that they are very sweet if we cook them, during the past, all the housewives, the farmers, they developed this solution to do not waste them. Because in this moment, the trees are full of queen's apples. And nowadays, the chef with the Michelin stars, they present this famous version of queen's apples marmalade, that is the hard version.
In particolare la fanno nei paesi dell'Etna.
With the sweet cheeses, above all goat cheeses. And this is typical of the Etna area, and the Carlentini area as well is full of those queen's apples.
Ti volevo dire che è tipico piatto di dolci che si dà per i morti era fatto dalla mostarda, questa è la cotognata, e in più cosa ci metteva? Ci mettevano i dolci, questi qua, i biscotti dei morti. Questo era il tipico dolce. Noi la mattina trovavamo la mattina.
When in the morning the kids they woke up, the gift left by the saints were even sweet desserts, and one of them are those candies made with the queen's apples. We can make the same with the prickly pears and with the most of the grapes. So we can have 3 varieties that actually are the most common fruits that we have in this moment of the year to do not waste them. And the little notes.
Comunque a noi da bambini ci raccontavano che ce li lasciavano i morti, che la notte venivano i morti a portarci queste cose.
When Silvana was a child, all the parents they used to say that the death left them those sweets. So for her was her grandma leaving the mostarda and cotognata.
Sì.
Now in a Carlentini tradition, they leave. Sicilian tradition. All Sicily, under this point of view, is the same. Tomorrow, the kids they will find the toys and gift.
Ma anche allora si lasciavano i regali alle donne, alle bambine si regalava la bambola, ai maschietti il fucile era proprio tipico o il cavalluccio. Ma il fucile in particolare.
So to the boys, they used to leave
Ecco, questa è la mostarda che faccio io.
This is the mustard
my
that,
mustard.
this is the mustard that Silvana makes in particular. So during the past, Silvana is saying that the kids, the boys, they used to receive guns, e invece le bambine, what about the girls?
E poi era tipico nel giorno dei morti, praticamente tutti i bambini con questi fucili sparavano, per cui c'era tutto questo,
Sì, ma le bambine cosa ricevevano? Fucili pure?
No, le bambine ricevevano le bambole, i
So
maschi il
the
fucile.
little girls, they used to receive dollies, while the boys, the guns. So the next days after the All Saints, all the kids, they used to dress like cowboys. So even in the Sicilian
No, non si vestivano da cowboy, no. Erano normali. Però sparavano, cioè avevano questi, le cartucce finte, diciamo, no? Che facevano solo il botto, però praticamente la strada si riempiva di botti. Di questi bambini che sparavano questi
was full of those noises of boys shooting with those fake guns.
Sai che è successo una volta a Villasmundo tanti anni fa? Il giorno dei morti, un signore ha preso una pistola e è andato per strada. Tutti erano convinti che fosse la pistola finta, giocattolo per i bambini. Invece ha ucciso un uomo. Poveri.
Invece ha
ucciso un uomo. Ha approfittato di quel giorno perché sicuramente nessuno avrebbe detto nulla con la pistola in mano. Ha fatto finta che fosse un giocattolo. Ha ucciso un uomo.
Well, during the past, she still remembers this news that was very shocking for the time, because a man taking advantage of this habit to play with the guns on the streets years and years ago in Villasmundo, he left his house with a real gun and he shot another man, and everybody, they didn't stop him because everybody thought that it was a toy, and he took advantage of this special day to do this gesture, let's say. Very sad, molto triste. And then this picture, guarda questa foto, Silvana, look at this.
Sì, quelle sono inzudi. Sai perché si chiamano inzudi? Perché li facevano le monache di San Vincenzo a Catania. E allora Vincenzo, Vincenzuda, era Vincenzo, insomma, le suore vincenziane, non so. Quindi inzudo significa Vincenzo, Vincenzuolo, diciamo, e vengono da lì. Invece le rame di Napoli, sai perché si chiamano così?
Che tu mi sento male con il rumore della strada, un attimo. Allora, praticamente, so, those cookies, they are different and they have different names. They are very common of our area. Where I live, for example, in Modica, they don't exist. And I live just 1 hour far from Carlentini. So, do you hear me?
Sì, ti sentiamo, adesso sì, ti sentiamo.
Okay. No, I turn off the light because I have difficulties with this light on to drive.
Certo, stai attenta, Eleonora.
Sì, infatti. Non ci manca solo che mi voglio ammazzare per fare sti. Allora, so, quelle che si chiamano come le suore, non l'ho capito.
Inzudi, questi qua che al centro hanno la mandorla, queste qua rotonde.
The one in the middle with the almond on the top, the round shape. Nzuda, those were made by the nuns, and then all the others are still very, very typical. We still make them.
Now they're making me hungry, and I just had a big lunch, so that's pretty bad.
Of the death, that is the one on the left, black and white.
I have a quick question.
Well, next time that you will come in this moment of the year, you will find this moment of the year. Was this just to share a little bit of our traditions?
Allora, in sud, the name is Vincenzo, Vincenzudo, Vincenza, Vincenzuda, Quindi questi biscotti infusi li facevano le monache di San Vincenzo.
The nuns of San
E sono
Vincenzo.
i piccoli Vincenzi, Little Vincent, Inzuda, Vincenzuda.
So now we know a little bit more about our traditions.
Wait 1 second. I have a question.
Dimmi.
Enzuda, you were talking about Vincenzo Enzuda?
Inzuda, Vincenzuda.
That's
Cioè, little Vincenza.
Okay. Muy interesante, molto interessante.
Inzuda è il diminutivo, little Vincenza.
Sì.
Okay.
Pensa, mia nonna si chiamava Puda, da
Esatto.
Giuseppe Puda. Cioè
Ok.
questa doppia D, double D in Sicilian, it's a diminutive, non so se si può dire così.
So this is another question. I'm sorry, I just got on late, so if I'm asking questions that you guys already answered, I apologize. I'm just fascinated by
Vediamo
it.
se ti capisco.
No,
parla
don't
più chiaro.
apologize. It's fine.
So this is for Festa de Morti.
Sì.
And here we have Dia de los Muertos. It's casi
Sì.
igual.
Sì, in Messico c'è Dias de Muertos, e da noi pure il giorno dei morti.
Jeremy, we
The
are
day
very,
of-
very, we are very similar in Sicily to the Spanish and Mexican traditions. Like in Mexico, for los Días de los Muertos in Sicily, we go to the cemetery. We put flowers, candles, we decorate the graves, and not like Mexican, but the relationship, we are pretty attached to the graves. And then we sit, we observe the people around. If there are people that we know, we stop and we talk with the excuse that we are there to pray for our beloved. But that's a social
Sì, sì.
moment.
Si portano anche i bambini al
So
cimitero.
today the cemetery in Carlentini was overcrowded of people, very well dressed, full of flowers, leaving the flowers in all the graves of the people that they know. So it has the same social aim of Mexican when they gather in the cemetery, and the same attachment towards the people who are not here anymore, because we take the kids with us and we introduce them at the graves, and we talk about the death, and we try to let them understand their stories and knowing them better. And then the death, they give gift to the kids that they will find at home. And at home we have altars with the candles and all the pictures. It's very typical in Sicily. In every single house you will find a corner where you will find all the frames with all the deaths that are important for you. So we are very similar with Mexican. In Italy it doesn't exist.
Eleonora, ti volevo dire una cosa, ormai tante tradizioni si sono perse, però quando io ero piccola, mia mamma faceva una specie di altarino nel periodo dei morti e metteva le fotografie dei morti. Al centro metteva una lampa, non la lampada, sai come era fatta la lampada? C'era sotto, c'era l'acqua. Una parte era olio e poi si metteva uno stoppino, si accendeva e si consumava l'olio della lampa. E accanto si mettevano i fiori. Lampa, non lampada. La lampa era fatta con una parte di olio e la parte di acqua era sotto. L'olio galleggiava. Su questo olio si metteva una specie di stoppino con del sughero che lo faceva stare a galla e si accendeva. E questo in tutto il periodo dei morti praticamente rimaneva acceso. Il lumino per i morti. Lo sapevi?
E lo stoppino non si spegneva anche se c'era l'acqua sotto?
No, l'acqua non c'è. C'era questa, cioè, per non riempire tutto il bicchiere di olio, si metteva una parte di acqua e l'altra parte era olio, per esempio, che sono 4 centimetri di olio e tutto il resto acqua. La lampa continuava ad rimanere accesa fino a quando c'era l'olio. L'olio si consumava man mano e poi si aggiungeva.
Ok, so Silvana,
non l'hai visto?
Aspetta, Silvana. When
Sì.
she was a child, her mom, she used to organize at home in those days a nice altar with a lot of flowers and nice covers, tablecloth, and then all the pictures with the frames, and there was a lamp in the middle that was basically a basin with a little bit of water, a little bit of oil, and a little thread, maybe in cotton, in the middle, and they used to turn it on, and then this lamp used to stay on for days. That is very similar to Mexican traditions, but in Italy they don't do that. Just in Sicily.
That's insane to me. I love that because yeah, we do that here. We have Festival Dia de los Muertos, and they build the altars. You go to the cemeteries, and it's sort of tradizione de like part of the Dia de los Santos. So is there a connection to Dia de los Santos in Sicily also?
Sì, exactly. That is tomorrow.
Oggi è il giorno di tutti i santi.
I santi, sì.
Today is the day of every saints.
All the saints, yeah, All Saints Day.
All saints today.
Have you ever seen the movie made by Pixar, Chico?
No.
You should see it because it talks about this little boy who goes on the other side in the au-delà, the al-delà, and over there everybody's happy and everybody's singing and playing, and they describe perfectly the Mexican belief that if you don't put an altar in your house with the picture of the person that passed away that you love, if you don't go to find them and to visit them to the cemetery, they will die twice. So even in the other word, in the au-delà, I don't know how to say in English, nell'aldilà, their spirit will disappear if nobody reminds them over here. And in Sicily, we have the same belief. If you don't have an altar at home, if you don't go to the cemetery to visit them, at one point they will be forgotten forever, and it's like to die twice.
C'è anche un'altra leggenda in Sicilia, sai? La leggenda della processione dei morti. Si dice che nella sera
La leggenda della?
La processione dei morti, che nella notte tra il giorno, la processione dei morti, nella notte tra il giorno 1 e il giorno 2, alcune persone che erano molto più sensibili, diciamo sensitive, riuscivano a vedere i morti in processione che andavano verso la chiesa, e dice che tenevano la chiesa apposta aperta affinché questi morti potessero andare in processione in chiesa e vedere la messa.
Wow.
Avevi mai sentito dire tu questo, Eleonora?
No, well, I know that in this moment of the year, there is always the moon that is in a particular position, and it seems that the border that separates our word with the other word is thinner. So that's why all of those traditions going back to the Celtic era, they fall in this moment of the year. But
la nostra tradizione è simile.
My understanding is that some of the gifts that are received by the children are explained as gifts from the ancestors. Is that correct?
Antico Francesco e Santo Anna.
I
exactly.
bring this up because
to let them
well, this particular image was sent to me today from Maria Rita Beretta, and she is a cousin of Deborah Santo. And you can see down here Ana Santo. And this is her husband, Francesco Antico, here, and this is Ana. And so the other tradition that I had heard was that this is also a traditional time to visit the cemetery. Is that correct?
Sì, sì. Il giorno 1 e il giorno 2 si va a visitare il cimitero. Eleonora
She did a
non si
nice-
sente più.
I really like
I
how
know.
she did these
I'm driving.
pictures. She did these pictures where she, got an overall of the grave with the dates, which, of course, I'm very interested in the date information. But then she also took a picture of the
Qua
individual.
c'è però una sola data c'è.
So
One date,
that was,
one date. This is the date of the husband.
yeah, it was just the date of the husband. So I'm not quite sure what happened
Tanto piccolo.
to the wife, but anyway, so I got that. Another thing that happened to me this week was I got a message from, well, actually, I got a friend request, and it was from this woman here, Jennifer Velota. And so we've had
Questa settimana,
long-
well, this Jennifer wrote to me, asked me
Villotta,
as
Jennifer
well.
Villotta.
Who is this lady?
well, she sent me a friend request, and I said, "Hi, Jennifer, do you have an interest in genealogy?" And she said, "Yes, I'm trying to find out where my family is from. And you were referred to me by a close friend." I forgot to ask her which friend, but anyway. So
I'm
this is-
related to the Velotas, but I'm not sure who that is. That's
Okay,
my uncle
this
was
is-
a Velota.
Però
This
questo
is
nome
her
non è
information.
molto famoso qua da noi, Villotta, mai sentito dire questo nome?
No, Villotta is not common in Carlentini, it's true.
No, it's not. In fact, it's from a place called Chion's, which we'll get to in just a minute here. But okay, so that was her, and this is her father, Thomas John, and his father is Bruno, and here's Bruno.
Bruno?
Bruno
Yeah,
was my
he's-
uncle's brother.
Oh, okay.
È nato-
Oh,
Mhm.
And our friend Steve Upton has them in his tree as well. I found that. And then I found a gravestone. And I found her obituary.
Qua dove c'è-
And
And Dino
this was
was my
very helpful because I knew him as James, and the original name was Giacomo. So if you're looking for original name of your ancestor, you might find it in the obituaries.
I'm
And so then
wondering
I-
how we can have access to the ones that we have in Carlentini and scan them and use them according to our needs.
Which ones are you talking about?
The obituaries papers, the flowers,
Yeah,
the flower.
I sent a message to Pipo Folletti and asked him, do you think I could get the funeral directors to email them to me, or do you think they will ever post them online?
Well,
And he
the
said, no, I
owner,
don't think so.
I can ask the owner of the only flower shop that manages all the funerals in Carlentini is the father of my best friend in the high school. So I can try telling them that we are respecting the privacy rules.
Ma non
And
c'è.
sì,
Quello-
posso dire Annuccio e a Pinuccia di
Muccio qua?
Cuva, Annuccio Cuva.
Sì, lo conosco.
So this card actually gives Giacomo's birthplace. This is a 1942 World War II draft registration card. And it's CHIONS. So I Googled that and I came up with this. It's in the province of
Silvana is asking
Pordenone.
what's
Place of
the
birth. Vediamo chi c'è scritto.
city?
No, questo è Pordenone.
CHIONS.
PH. Chieti. Forse è Chieti.
Ah, Chieti. Eh sì.
Me lo fai vedere
Chieti.
un'altra volta?
Can you show her
Can you
again?
see this? It's, I think I have it on the screen, don't I? Can everybody see this Wikipedia article?
Yes.
Chieti. Chieti è poi è una città importante d'Italia.
Yeah.
Mi fai vedere di nuovo?
È Toscana, Chieti?
No, Chieti è, mi
So then
pare,
once I had his
in
original
Abruzzo,
name
in
as
Abruzzo.
Giacomo, I was able to
Vediamo.
find his declaration of intention and his
Giacomo
petition for
Villotta.
naturalization and his
Okay.
certificate of arrival.
Vediamo se ci sono dei Villotta in Italia, in quale parte d'Italia sono.
And
The
this is-
address that's on there, that 3319 South 3rd Street,
Yes.
is like about 2 blocks from where I'm sitting right now.
It used to be
Really?
called
Oh,
Gibbs.
wait, no way, Jim, really?
Yeah, it's just
Jim dice che l'indirizzo che è scritto lì e in questo momento è a 2 parallele da casa sua. Ma
Dino is my uncle. He's the son.
Vediamo, io voglio vedere nelle pagine bianche se c'è questo cognome.
Which
dov'è?
one? Dino, did you say, Donna?
Yeah, Dino is my uncle, and then his brother Bruno. So that was my uncle Dino's father then.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, and then Rose is in Glendale, Arizona. Yeah.
What was that declaration of arrival? I've never seen that document. Or
It was
certificate.
part of the naturalization packet. I cropped
okay.
it down. You'll see them, if you're going through a naturalization document online, you'll see these. And they're handy because, you know, they say exactly when they arrived. And you can see it's dated 1936. This was when he applied for naturalization. At that time, it was being handled by the U.S. Department of Labor, Immigration and Naturalization Service. And they look it up on the passenger list. They create these certificates.
Allora, io trovo molti Villotta nel Veneto,
So now I have quite a bit of information for
provincia di
Jennifer.
Udine,
And
lo Salto di Portogruaro, quindi sono tutte Nord Italia, in Veneto.
North Italy.
Cos'è questo rumore?
so I was able to get this I was able to get his birth record in Chion's through family search.
Cinque cose in Chions.
And
I
this,
sent to you
Quindi c'è
link
scritto
about,
Chions, Pordenone. È giusto
when-
perché
when-
ci sono molte persone di quelle parti lì che si
but,
chiamano.
but that's kind of an
Villotta.
unusual location. I've never heard of that place before.
Chieti? You mean Chieti?
No, è Chions, ha ragione. Chions.
No, non lo posso leggere, a stento ho capito come... Non ho capito io il suo nome.
Chions è un comune italiano nella provincia di Pordenone. E in
Ah,
effetti
Pordenone.
molti... Sì, ho visto su pagine bianche che il nome
Siamo
Villotta
al confine con l'Austria.
Oh, see,
qua.
there it is.
è
Northern.
tipico del Veneto. Quindi,
Yeah, it's
sì,
the
quelle
little red
parti lì.
dot here. And it says it's 90 kilometers northwest of Trieste, which I
Oh,
actually
very
did a
north.
research project in
Sì,
Trieste.
sì.
Oh, yeah.
But Trieste is like way over here, and it's kind of surrounded by, I forget
or-
which,
Allora, ho
Slovenia, I
letto,
think that is.
Nick, ho saputo che molte navi che venivano in America partivano da Trieste.
Yeah, a lot of boats that used to come to United States, they came from Trieste.
Sì. Anche i siciliani andavano fino a Trieste per prendere la nave, oppure portavano dalla Sicilia. Comunque molte navi partivano da Trieste.
And it's quite a beautiful city. I've never been there, but it looks
Yeah,
beautiful.
Trieste is very elegant, and there is one of the best universities of languages and tourism over there, and they have a different mentality. It's a beautiful city. The only negative part is that at 6 p.m. everything closes and there is nobody on the streets during the night hours because they have a very North European rhythm.
Villotta e Torrate. Addirittura c'è una città, una frazione di Fions che si chiama Villotta. Hai visto che c'è scritto qua? It's beautiful.
But it's very rich, and this square is the windiest square of Italy. And when there is no the wind coming, it's one of the most elegant and charmiest. Yeah, the Bora wind. Yeah, and Trieste, it has been added to Italy very recently because before was part of Slovenia. So even if was an Italian area,
sì, la prima guerra mondiale si combatté proprio per loro.
In the past,
L'Istria, la Dalmazia.
So Nick,
Yes.
I've got Thomas Volota in
Right.
my tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got probably Jennifer and her siblings are in there. I haven't really done any research on them.
There was the famous poet Gabriele D'Annunzio who left to free Fiume and Trieste.
Nick, on one of the documents, I think it said he was self-employed at 48th and Leavenworth, and then it said it was a soft drink parlor.
Yes.
That's the area I grew up in, but I'm trying to figure out what that would have been, what that was called or what it was.
Right across the street from the cemetery.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, when you have questions like that, what I recommend that you do is if you have access to ancestry.com, as they have a fantastic city directory collection. And so one of the ways that I get to the city directory collection is by searching the catalog, because it's one of the largest databases. And if you go to card catalog and then you sort by record count, public member trees, city directories is down here, number 4. And you can see it has 1 million records.
We'll look up
Actually,
1948.
it's a billion records, which is comparable to what they have in these other databases. And school yearbooks is almost 1 billion at this point. They keep digitizing those, but
Keep pushing those.
Here's the city directories.
I just looked it up real quick, if you don't mind. I found this place as Forgotten Omaha on Facebook. It says 48th and Leavenworth was the site of the West Side or Leavenworth Station. Does that ring a bell?
There is a bar down there on the corner of Saddle Creek and Leavenworth.
Well, the neighborhood bar.
Yeah. And I don't know if that would be it, but that's been around forever.
Right.
And then across the street from there was where the old steelworks was, whatever the heck the name of that was.
Was that, I think, Paxton and Burling? Was it Paxton and Burling?
There was what was the other one called? It was
Gate City. There was Gate City, but
yeah, I can't remember.
Listen,
was Omaha Steelworks.
Listen to this. It says that before refrigeration was available, the milk train made daily stops at local depots such as the West Side Depot on the Omaha Beltline. The West Side or Leavenworth Station was at 48th and Leavenworth. The Omaha city limits was at 48th Street.
Yep, sounds right.
So in 1945, James Volota was a bartender at the Veracruz Tavern, and his house was at 3319 South 3rd. And then you can see Bruno was in the United
Veracruz
States
Tavern. You could look
Army
up
Air Corps,
You could look
also
up
at the same address. And Dino was also in the United States Army Air Corps at the same address.
So where's
So-
Veracruz a tavern at?
Okay, so to find Veracruz Tavern.
Well, that's got to be pretty close there. I mean, this is all
Yeah.
alphabetical.
Right, you go
You wouldn't buy it
alphabetically
already.
to Veracruz, Vera,
There it is.
There it is.
Veracruz Tavern, Sam Pulaski Beverages, 5110 South 25th.
Well, that's clear down in South Omaha.
Yeah. So if we go back and try a later date. So
Look at
it said
49.
at that point that he had, at 42, he had a soft drink tavern, right? So let's just see what the listing for 42 says. It also says Veracruz Tavern. So I don't know if it was soft drinks or what it was, but I saw another listing, I think it was like census listing that said he was the proprietor of a tavern.
1942.
Something you showed said soft drinks.
Yeah, that was that 1942 draft card. Whoops, wrong tree. This will get it into his profile. Yeah, here's that draft card. Employer's name, self, soft drink parlor. But it doesn't
One of the other
say
documents
where.
showed had his place of employment. It's in place of employment 48th and Leavenworth. One of the other documents you showed.
Was
Okay.
that like on his naturalization
I
stuff?
think that's what it was.
Okay, so let's apparently this is opened in a new window. So let me close that. And so this would be his naturalization paperwork. And this will give me a chance to answer Bob's question earlier too.
What's the date on this? Can you
Okay,
scroll
so this
down?
is his declaration. So at the bottom, it says that it was sworn in 1936.
Okay.
And so
No, it wasn't this
at this
document.
point, he was a terrazzo laborer. But then the next step is the petition for naturalization. And this was dated, well, at least the witness statements were dated 1938. And this Barbaresco, Jesse Barbaresco, that was a witness, I believe that's his brother-in-law because his obituary mentions a sister named Barbaresco.
And then the Serafino?
And Serafino is the liquor dealer.
Is his boss.
Probably his boss, yeah.
A lot of people live down there, Nick, like on that South 25th because it was across the street from the packing houses.
And again, this says he was a terrazzo mosaic worker.
Hmm.
So
what is terrazzo? Is that some sort of plaster or something?
Yeah,
It's
terrazzo is a floor.
Tile.
Tile.
Stone, yeah.
Yeah, it's a stone floor.
Okay.
And so they make mosaics in the terrazzo floor. And his wife's name is Julia Chesko, which this is the spelling that Jennifer gave me, which I would have thought it would have been G-I-U, but maybe that's the way they spell it up there in the North Country near the Balkans.
Let's see. So that, yeah, well, that's Julia, I think, is the American name. That,
Yeah,
that I have.
Americanized it to be Julia. So, so Bob, in answer to your question about the certificate of arrival, it was just right here, and I just zoomed in and straightened it. I cropped it and straightened it, but it was in the file, but it was flipped over on top of another page. And this, another one you can pull out of there is called the Oath of Allegiance. This is actually when they become citizens, and it says their certificate number right here, which is useful.
Vittorio Emanuele III, Re d'Italia. Visto che c'è scritto lì. Vittorio Emanuele III. Vittorio Emanuele III, Re d'Italia.
So
let me go back to those documents that
well, on the manifest, you'll see the certificate of naturalization on there if they've been a naturalized citizen.
Maybe it was. No, it wasn't his obit. There's his obit. See, Gina Bavaresco. That was the same name that was on his.
Bavaresco.
It is interesting. Someone mentioned that was down by the packing houses, and I looked it up. And yeah, it's just blocks away from the packing house, which there are a lot of workers down there.
Yeah, 51 is like Q Street.
Right. It was on P. It was on the corner of 25th and P, that address.
Yep.
Which is one block, the north of Q. So yeah, that was
livestock yards.
Probably a lot of those guys got off and, hit the bar.
Yeah. Like my dad was actually born on 23rd and Q, and they didn't move back to Little Italy until later because my grandfather worked at the meatpacking plants and he didn't drive, so he could walk to work.
23rd and Q was a church. I forget the name.
St. Agnes.
Yeah. One of my sisters went there for a while.
They actually went to St. Anne's, like he was baptized at St. Anne's.
Well, that's another Italian church.
Yeah.
And then, I think some of the guys, when they worked at the packing houses, they hopped a train car and rode downtown on the like Union Pacific or whatever that went through the yards down there at the south in the stockyards down there.
Okay, so you're not talking about a streetcar that get on a train?
No, this is a regular train. This is a regular train. They'd get on there, and then they'd go down to the depot downtown, and then they'd get off, and then they'd walk home from there. Okay. A few blocks. Yeah.
The packing house to the depot.
Yeah, the main line for Union Pacific went right through the yards down there at the stockyards. Was the original main line for the Union Pacific. So those guys, whatever was cheap, they jumped on the train and then they rode home. And
So does anybody here go all out and decorate their house for Halloween?
No, in Sicily we don't do that. Not even a pumpkin.
We put our dogs in costumes.
I have one too.
Yeah, they said it was called, they said they were labeled security.
I have my dog.
Years ago, just fun with some kids when there was the lockdown. I was teaching, I was helping with the homeschoolers. So we had a pumpkin laboratory, how to cut to make the nice faces. But they told me this is the first time that we are celebrating Halloween.
Eleonora, io la zucca la faccio fritta e me la mangio, è buonissima.
The pumpkin, I cut it and I fry it and I eat it.
Con l'aceto.
And this is so good. This is what the Silvana is saying. I eat it.
So where are you at, Eleonora? Because you're passing right through a neighborhood, it looks like. We're seeing, we can look outside your window as you're driving along there, and you're driving by some houses.
Yeah, because I didn't calculate that. So now we have solar hour back. So I'm having the whole journey with you. But I was supposed to be at home at 9. I'm there in 2 minutes. And
so this is,
and it has been 1 hour that we have been together. It's 1 hour and a half by driving.
So this is Modica?
I'm Modica. See, now I am in Modica. Let me turn. How can I do that? Aspetta.
So I can show you how my granddaughter's dressed up. I can get back to Facebook here.
Yes, please.
Let's go to notifications. And
this is a shortcut that if you're following the video, this is not the nicest entrances to the city, but I don't care what is nice. I just need to go back home earlier and quickly.
Well, you'll be okay next week because we switch our clocks next week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. This is a big place.
Modica?
Yeah, it looks like
yeah,
it.
60,000 people. It's a town.
It looks like it.
While Nika is looking for the picture of his granddaughter, that's the entrance of the city, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I live in downtown, Modica Bassa, very close to the main square, like 500 yards far from the main square and 500 yards far from the railway station. Oh, look at you. So
is that a throwback to the 50s?
Yeah, that's what I told her.
That's the Palermo.
My comment was happy days are here again.
But they dressed like with the colors of the Palermo soccer team. That is black and pink.
I have a Halloween question for Mary Kay. Since you're asking about people decking out their houses, and when we were young, we used to trick or treat on Berry Street up by Mary Kay's house. But I don't remember people back then doing much in their houses. I think we just walked up to the door and trick or treated.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of ornamentation. Do you, Mary Kay?
No, just if the light was on, you could, go to the house. My parents did say they were very disappointed. They went out and bought 2 bags of candy and they only had 3 trick-or-treaters.
Oh.
We had none.
Really?
Yeah, we never get them.
Yeah, we buy enough for 90 kids, and we probably gave away half our stuff. So.
Yeah, I had 60. I kept a little ledger so I would know
A
for
10.
next year.
Wow.
And it was beautiful. I mean, there should have been more kids, and OPS was off, and like our church school was off, but
So what time do they
My
start
niece,
with what time were they out? Were they out about 6 o'clock or before
Yeah.
they out, or?
and they were all done by like 7:30. It was done.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. It's the way it should be.
Yeah, it was fun.
my niece posted some pictures of her boys doing pumpkin carving. But the pictures are very slow in loading, so I'll wait till they come up a bit here.
Here, I can share one of my daughter made real quick.
Hey, we're home. Thank you for the company. I'm coming back.
Did you see?
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
So
Wow.
that's what we do.
Eleonora,
Oh, so sweet. Let's show the pumpkin again.
Oh. That's my youngest.
that's cute.
How old is she?
She's 15. And she's feeling a little deprived because she's the youngest. And we used to have like everyone would come over to our house, and we would have a big, like all my siblings. And now that she's too old to trick or treat.
Lei è la figlia di Mary Kay, la più piccola che ha 15 anni e però vuole fare ancora dolcetto scherzetto.
Vabbè, ancora è piccola.
Non
She got
accetta.
stressed out
Ma la
yesterday.
lo sai,
It's
Eleonora, ho trovato un po' di somiglianza con Alfio Turco, che è suo cugino. Somiglia un po' ad Alfio questa ragazza.
Silvana,
They're real artists, aren't
Silvana
they?
says that she looks like Alfio Turco, your cousin. They have some resemblance.
Oh, really?
È vero, sì, sì.
Yeah, we don't know where she got the red hair. No one in the family has red hair.
Alfio, quello
Dice,
che
non lo
abita-
sappiamo dove ha preso i capelli rossi. Nessuno in famiglia ha i capelli rossi.
I rossi ci sono
Benvenute,
tutti,
Deborah.
Hi.
Ciao Deborah.
Hi everyone. Ciao.
Oh, oggi
Hi.
iniziamo
Ciao,
prima
Deborah.
perché c'è stato il
Ciao,
cambiamento
Bella.
di orario.
Esatto.
Sì, infatti io me ne sono accorta soltanto alle 8. Okay. Jeremy, you were asking something.
I was going to tell you, I enjoyed watching your trip because I noticed that over there that, I live in Texas. We have big trucks. Nick knows this too. We have big trucks everywhere. I didn't see one single, even quarter-ton truck anywhere.
With tiny roads. When
Tiny roads, so tiny cars.
She can say when we have the walking tour in Ragusa, Betty, do you remember? We have the small streets of the Middle Age that is exactly the same size of one car. So when the cars they show up, I go like, hey guys, on the sides and cycle in. And watch your feet by here. No, we don't have big cars. I can maybe one of the biggest are like this one, BMW, but not bigger than this.
Yeah.
And I can show. No, it's too dark outside. So we don't have. And then Nick, I sent to you a link about Nuccio. Nuccio. Oh my. Costa. He went to the cemetery this morning, and he made a beautiful reportage about what happened to the cemetery this morning. So for those who have never seen a typical cemetery in Sicily or the cemetery of Carlentini, this could be a chance to have an idea. And then if there is someone who wants to work on their family tree, maybe we can dedicate some moment to that as well.
So, while this is, here we go.
Here we go. This was this morning.
Buonasera a tutti, scusate il ritardo.
No, tranquillo, è che non abbiamo calcolato che oggi c'è l'ora solare, quindi abbiamo iniziato alle 8, sì.
Ah, ok.
Ciao Enzo.
Ciao.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao.
Ecco perché non eravamo tanti.
Mhm.
Queste sono delle foto di Lucio Costa del cimitero di
Cimitero?
Carlentini stamattina, sì.
Sì. Durante la messa?
Sì, during the mass. Mhm.
Mhm.
I wish I could get Nuccio Costa to start taking pictures of the cemetery for me.
Oh yeah. Deborah, you can translate if they need to. I'm going back. I'm going in the elevator. Okay, can you?
Okay, okay, that's right.
Okay.
Okay,
I live in charge.
don't worry.
Okay.
So,
These kind of pictures are really interesting from the standpoint of showing, you know, the wall,
mhm.
but they don't do me any good because I can't see the names and the dates.
Oh yeah, the names and the dates when birth and the and people dead. So there were so many people today.
So these
I guess.
are a little better. You can see the names a little bit,
Yes.
but
And
the
the
fact
dates.
that they have taken pictures, I mean, that they put flowers up there, it blocks the
Mhm.
information that I'm after.
Mhm.
So what I'm hoping is that I can get some volunteers that are willing to go and just take a picture of that specific grave
Mhm.
and remove the flowers so that I can see the names, and then to take a picture of the person.
Oh, that person. Yes.
Yeah. Can you translate that in Italian?
Oh,
sì,
yes, of
non si vede
course.
niente.
So, stai dicendo praticamente per ogni nicchia è dedicata ad una determinata persona, è riportata naturalmente la fotografia che fa riferimento a quella persona dove c'è scritta poi la data di nascita e di morte. Ed è interessante infatti notare immediatamente la foto, così poi si può riconoscere immediatamente di chi stiamo parlando. È anche facile poter trovare.
Infatti a lui non è utile questo tipo di foto, perché lui vorrebbe la foto senza i fiori per poter vedere il nome, il cognome, la data di nascita e tutto quanto. Così lui non può fare nulla con queste foto.
Certo, naturalmente viene molto male, perché
infatti.
con tutti i fiori
Oggi è molto, a parte che si dovrebbero prendere proprio di fronte, no? Così lateralmente.
Sì, infatti così non si capisce, non è per niente chiaro, assolutamente.
E vabbè,
So
quello si
one of
deve
the
fare
things
apposta.
that I noticed here is that all the graves seem to have fresh flowers on them.
Yes.
Is
It
that
could be the
true?
perfect things that God made you.
November is probably not the month to photograph with all the flowers.
Yeah, with all the flowers. But that's part of the tradition though, right? You go to the cemetery and you put fresh flowers on
Yeah.
November 1st.
Yes.
Tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
is All Souls Day, which is for all of the deceased.
Mhm.
And I would imagine that's why all the flowers are out.
I fiori si portano oggi, poi così è tutto pronto per domani.
Molti iniziano anche qualche giorno prima per evitare la confusione di tante persone che si accaccano al cimitero. E quindi piano piano le persone cercano di prendere il periodo, il momento giusto per evitare infatti di trovare troppa gente e quindi poter portare l'omaggio ai propri defunti.
So did they have mass? They had mass there this morning?
Ciao.
Sì, c'è stata la messa stamattina.
Laura.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao Laura. Ciao Laura.
Ciao Silvana. Ciao Nick.
So Nick, I have a question.
This one is good for my purposes here.
Certo, questa è perfetta perché si vede tutto.
So Nick, I have a question. So the group from Omaha in August went to the cemetery, and I have several pictures that I didn't know if they were relatives or not, that I just took if I saw
Yes.
a name. So, I mean, I can send you all of mine, but maybe Sherry could reach out to the group everybody was taking pictures.
Yeah,
So-
that would be great. Yes,
So,
please send me your pictures, Mary.
okay, I have a few. I'll send you.
Perfect.
Give Sherry a call and talk to her about that because she's having trouble connecting right now.
Yeah, I'll send her a text.
Nick, how long do you think it would take for like 4 people to go through and photograph that cemetery?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, I estimate that there's got to be, I don't know, at least 20,000 graves there,
Oh,
but
wow.
It's big.
I'm trying to
It's
plan
huge.
a trip over, and I told my family that they'll be at the cemetery. If I could figure out a map and they could just each take a part.
There
That would
isn't
be
a map of the
fantastic, Mary Kay.
cemetery. Or if there is, it's not appropriate. We tried to have one. So that day we just, when we went last August, we took advantage of the relatives who were aware about the position of the graves. So this was the easiest way.
Yeah.
So Silvana, do you remember the gentleman that met us at the bar derby that was my cousin? He's an architect.
Ah sì, Serravalle. Salvatore Serravalle.
Saravalli. Okay, Saravalli. And what was his first name again?
Salvatore Serravalle.
Salvatore.
Salvatore.
Salvatore Saravalli. So
Sì.
I was going to send his wife a note.
Arianna Ingaliso.
And see if he would be willing to draw a map of the cemetery, because with his architectural skills, he should know how to do that, but I don't know, we'll see.
Te l'ha fatto la mappa del cimitero? Non ho capito, Leonora. He sent
We had
to
also
you.
talked about an aerial photo with a drone. That would be helpful too.
Yeah, it looks like those, so they stack pretty high, so you would either need like a ladder or a
Non ho capito se
selfie
te l'ha
stick to
fatta
get
no.
on
Yeah,
the top row.
they have ladders. See this ladder right here?
Okay.
They're on wheels and you can roll them around so that you can get up there and take a picture.
Okay.
So you got the platform, it looks like, on the other side. Where if
Yeah, you
you
can probably
do a
zoom in
zoom,
from this platform up here too.
yeah, you can put a tripod up and do whatever you need.
Or a selfie stick but I think actually these are the best because they get you right to where you need to go.
I know
Those
it's a big
ladders.
task because when my brother went, he said they spent hours there and they didn't get, everything they wanted.
Well, if anybody has pictures, but don't take pictures on Ognissanti because I can't see the dates or the names.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all those flowers. I
Ciao,
bet the florists love it, huh? This is their best day of the
Ciao
year.
Jeremy. Ciao.
Ciao.
So is Eleonora still on?
Eleonora non c'è.
Do you?
She's here, but I don't know. She's muted.
Okay. I just
Penso che
had a
Eleonora
question
sta
about,
mangiando.
we call it Armistice Day on November 11th.
Yes.
And I was just wondering if what they do in Italy, if they do anything for that.
Yeah. Deborah, do you guys celebrate November 11th, the end of World War I?
11
11 novembre è San Martino da noi.
Esatto. There is a November. We celebrate
Solo in Sicilia si fa
great a
questa festa.
particular. Come?
La festa di San Martino la facciamo solo in Sicilia. Esiste solo da noi.
Diciamo che ci sono molte tradizioni. Quelle siciliane hanno un alto significato, soprattutto poi variano da zone a zone. Qua a Carlentini,
Certo, la leggenda di San Martino è valida per tutti, il fatto che si passa il mando.
è quello, diciamo, che è dal punto di vista una leggenda religiosa. Ma poi
però noi la facciamo.
il significato è legato invece a una tradizione locale, quello che non si sa. Io vado alla ricerca di tanti perché, forse anche il mio mestiere, però il significato perché noi facciamo San Martino c'è, solo che non lo sappiamo e lo facciamo in automatico. Io lo dico sempre anche ai miei alunni: perché fai San Martino? E non lo sanno. Non si sa.
Io presumo che sia il fatto che il vino è pronto per essere, o no? Che si dice che San Martino.
Allora,
Ipero vino.
Sì, castagne e vino.
No, ci esce ipero vino. Questo è un detto che diceva mio padre, perché si apriva la botte per la prima volta.
E quello
talking about San Martin on November 11th. Ragazzi,
Aspetta,
quando andate troppo in italiano?
Esatto, perché c'è una They are saying that we know several religious traditions, in particular here in Sicily. For example, on the 11 November, there is a festivity very interesting that we know it is well known as San Martino. So it is linked to the life of this man, and also that is linked to a particular meaning that we link it to.
So, okay.
Laura, what do your kids do? Laura, cosa fanno i tuoi ragazzi per San Martino?
Allora, San Martino, quando a Carlentini si fa San Martino, che già è diverso da Siracusa o da Catania o da Palermo. Quindi il San Martino che si fa a Carlentini è legato a delle tradizioni locali. Qua a Carlentini, dimmi tu Eleonora quando mi fermo e traduci.
So Carlentini, in Sicily there is a San Martin everywhere, but in Carlentini, for example, is different from Palermo or other places. So there is a local way to celebrate San Martino that is pretty different. Per esempio, Laura?
Per esempio, a Carlentini la maggior parte della popolazione erano agricoltori, contadini, mezzadri e proprietari terrieri.
So in Carlentini, the majority of the population, they used to be farmers, caretakers of the properties of the rich nobles, and landowners as well.
Tante nobili non c'erano Carlentini, erano massari, ecco.
Sì.
No, ho detto che erano i massari, coloro che si prendevano cura delle terre dei nobili, perché magari la parola massaro ho avuto bisogno di una perifrasi per spiegarla.
Sì, il massaro, il mezzadro, che era al servizio.
The reason I ask reason I ask is it went from
San Martino di
Armistice Day to Veterans Day, which is a memorial for all of the war dead from all the different wars. And
Sì.
Sì, questa è la tradizione
Spilla il
classica.
vino, però volevo dire, Nick, che San Martino a Carlentini o comunque nelle zone limitrofe ha un significato. Infatti andare a fare San Martino vuol dire fare San Martino vuol dire traslocare, che vuol dire perché quando in occasione di questa data era l'epoca quando finivano tutte le produzioni della campagna, olive, e c'era l'olio nuovo, e l'ultimo era poi il mosto. Quindi quando si faceva ora San Martino, questo cosa voleva dire traslocare? Il mezzadro, il massaro che lavorava presso un proprietario terriero, se il suo lavoro che durava un anno andava bene, veniva riconfermato, altrimenti doveva cambiare. Oggi lo chiamiamo essere un disoccupato, perdere il posto di lavoro. Invece no, loro sapevano che il loro lavoro durava un anno e quindi tranquillamente
this is a very interesting thing. Ed è legato al vino nuovo perché era la prima cosa che facevano se veniva riconfermato, o era l'ultima cosa che facevano alla fine dell'anno?
Allora il vino era l'ultima cosa che si faceva nell'annata dell'agricoltore.
Dell'agricoltore.
Loro se lavoravano in questa proprietà dove c'erano solo arance, ok, ma solitamente si aspettava l'ultima produzione che era il mosto, perché il vino, l'olio, le olive si stanno raccogliendo anche adesso. Appena finiva tutto, quindi la campagna andava già in letargo, il lavoro si cambiava lavoro, si cambiava posto. Quindi quando cambiavano posto, gli altri mezzadri che si trovavano in altri posti aiutavano l'amico mezzadro che doveva trasferirsi a traslocare le loro cose da una campagna dove loro erano stati lì per un anno ad abitare, oppure comunque erano lì. Quindi quando poi facevano il trasloco c'era una festa.
Okay, let me explain. Allora, Laura was saying that the majority of the population in Carlentini's area in the past was made by farmers, caretakers of the land of the nobles, and landowners as well, who were not nobles, but used to have a piece of land. And the majority were the farmers and the caretakers. Obviously, the landowners was a small percentage. Those ones, they were hired for 1 year. And they knew that at the end of the agricultural year, the last product to be made was the wine. So at the end of October, there was the harvesting of the olives. At the beginning of November, there was the harvesting of the grapes. And then the first smashed grape, the most, used to make the novello, the young wine. So that moment of the year was the same coincidence corresponded to the moment when the nobles had to confirm them the following year of work. And sometimes the nobles, they said, no, you weren't good, we want other people, you have to go, you have to move. And everybody, something that today in our society would be considered as being unemployment and employees being fired, for them was something regular. They just knew that their contract, their deal was for 1 year. So the majority, they knew that they were going to move. So those who were not moving, they used to help those who were going away to collect all the stuff, and with the carts and the donkeys and horses, they used to help them moving. And in the meanwhile, there was this big festa they used to have parties with the new wine. That was the last celebration before they moved somewhere else, starting again a new agricultural year. Our area in particular, San Martino, is related to having a big dinner in the countryside where we bake, where we cook meat. We have barbecues. We grill the chestnuts as well, and we drink the new wine. And it's a very, very popular in Carlentini. While in Palermo, they fry round pieces of dough that we call zeppole. And then sometimes they put the sugar on the top, or the ricotta cheese inside, or the anchovies in the salty version.
Anche a Siracusa.
So, and in Syracuse as well. So they don't have the same tradition that we have in Carlentini. Non hanno la stessa tradizione che abbiamo
effettivamente
noi
è un momento
in
di
Carlentini.
passaggio questo qua, così come si festeggiano per esempio i morti, che è il momento in cui finisce la stagione della raccolta di tutte le frutta, tutte queste cose. E poi si va all'inverno, cioè poi praticamente si vive con tutto quello che si è raccolto.
It's a moment to celebrate this transition from the last moment of the year when we can still harvest products and fruits and vegetables, to the beginning of the winter when we have the quiet moment, and then we will wake up in 3 months during the carnival in
poi
February.
in effetti anticamente in inverno si viveva con le conserve.
Sì.
Si erano fatte in
Earlier I was showing an image that Susan Finley sent me this week, and I wanted your help to see if we could translate that.
Ah, ok.
And,
Laura, poi ora me lo aggiungi
obviously,
quello che stavi
Carissimo
dicendo.
Figlio is dear son.
Io prego
I'm not
Dio.
sure what this word is.
I-O.
Io prego Dio.
I pray. Prego is I pray God.
Yes.
Io prego Dio.
First.
Before that. Before you will be 20
years.
Or 26.
That you return to the house.
Back at home.
That is now avrà. What is that word?
It's written in an Italian that is very similar to the way to say in Sicilian, because it's saying literally, I hope that you, when you will be 20 years old, you will come back at home. That now it has been 1 year that I haven't seen you, and it looks like 100 years.
Okay.
I have the feeling that they are 100 years. It's a metaphor. I hug you from my heart. Di come il tuo papà. So and the same your father, with good luck. So it's an old way of express ourselves. It seems to be written in Italian, but it's just in Italian a translation of the Sicilian dialect. Very fascinating, though.
I have many of them. I was going to show you this. If you could understand what this is.
It looks like a rose or a foot. It looks like a footprint.
I couldn't figure out. These are letters from my grandfather.
Susan, if you could take snapshots of the other letters and send them to me, then we can discuss them next week if you want.
Oh, that'd be fabulous. You know, it's but like these, I mean, the whole
Mary,
page
is there Mary
all
Kay?
I'm making a Shutterfly book because the pages are so flimsy and that, like, they included all these newspaper clippings of weddings and they turned them all brown. So I'm trying to transcribe them, but I'm taking.
Yeah, if you take the picture, we can share it and work on
Okay.
it.
That'll be fabulous. It'll keep us busy.
See.
Okay. And I'm
Yeah,
trying
Laura,
to
I
was,
spotlighted you if you want to try to put some of them close to the camera, but it's oftentimes hard to read. It's better.
Right. Well, this was the one I was just curious what this, let's see, is it back?
Stamo attento.
Attento.
I don't know what that means.
Stai attento.
ma è un piede con l'allus
piede.
grande.
Oh.
It's a foot with a big,
Finger?
I don't remember the name of the fingers of the feet.
Yeah, try to flatten them out as best you can, and then take a picture of them
Okay. Sure.
and send them to me, and then I can show
For
them
me,
to everybody.
this is for me, this
Okay.
is come si dice, la stilizzazione, the stylization, like the emblem of a Sicilian way to say, be careful where you put your feet and where you go. Stai attento a ogni vai, a ogni scappisi, and then they put the footprint. Sì, è un
piedi.
Yeah, that's exactly that's what came in my head. Talking about leather, I just got this last week. Mary Kay suggested us this book. It's very thick.
Wow.
It's yeah, like more than 400 pages, and talks about an epistolar relationship between those two friends, and me
and Sicily.
You, me, and Sicily.
And Sicily.
Between the lines.
Who's the author?
The author. So I think one of the ladies is a collection of real letters. Between the lines is the correspondence between best friends Anne and Sue, who were separated in 1989 when Sue and her family moved to Sicily. And then there's this nice image. Seems they were very close to us, close to Carlentini. As wives and mothers of young children, the two women wrote each other letters, especially for the audience of one. The correspondence is a rich account of Sue and her family adjusting to life in Sicily, while Anne and her family navigate life in their small southern hometown on the other side of the globe. Both women share the heights and lows of raising children and finding their own identities while keeping the home fires burning. These letters reveal the importance of the human connection, the need to be understood, and the meaning of true friendship. It's a very interesting one. So I hope that one day, collecting all the letters that we are sharing, maybe we'll be able to create a collection like this. So please, let's start next week, and I will do the same. I have plenty of letters as well, are not mine. I have to translate them. I will ask the permission to the owner to share them, and we will enjoy those nice stories.
That book is available on Amazon for $18.95.
I bought it on Amazon. Very, very easy.
Yeah.
While Mary Kay was talking about it, I wanted to look for it, and it was super easy to get it.
Because who are we talking to that lived on the Air Force base over there? Someone last week?
See, exactly.
Yeah,
It was
the same.
There was Carol.
Carol, yeah.
Show or Schaff.
Yeah. It was Carol, but the picture here seems to be Carlentini. Very close to Carlentini. It looks like, at least, with the Etna. Yeah. So thank you for sharing, Mary Kay.
You're welcome.
This is very inspiring.
Susan?
I'll put the descriptive information in there too.
Susan?
Eleonora, quel libro si può tradurre. Se tu ce l'hai una copia, possiamo scannerizzare e tradurre.
Oh sì. Adesso Silvana con i nuovi dispositivi è anche molto più semplice. Io ho comprato un iPhone 14, per cui se io faccio la foto a un documento, io posso evidenziare il testo nella foto, fare copia, incolla, andare su Dipo, che è il mio traduttore ufficiale che utilizzo più professionale, e immediatamente ho tutto già tradotto. Poi ovviamente
Anch'io ho fatto così. Anch'io ho fatto così, perché quando io lo scannerizzo, poi lo trasformo in Word.
In Word, ok, perfetto.
E lo traduco. È
Now it's
semplice,
so easy
ci vuole un po'
to
di tempo.
translate because of this new possibility to transform in Word documents through pictures.
C'è un programma che te lo trasforma velocemente
Yeah,
in Word.
my
E poi
iPhone
faccio
does it
copia e incolla.
automatically.
E come si
So
chiama?
it's very,
Dipo?
very easy.
Dipo?
I use a Dipo when I have to translate in French and in English. My best platform is called the Deepl, DEEPL, is for free. And every time I go the opposite from English, French into Italian, I can really understand that is very accurate. Obviously, in English, I don't have all the shades that I can have in Italian, where I can say the same thing in 10 different ways, according to the register, according to the synonym, using metaphor, using other words rather than the one that I'm using. So obviously, I can master my mother tongue in a better way. Above all, when I talk about the translation, every single word we use has to be weighted with attention because it can change everything. But I have to say that it's very accurate. So it's for free. Every time you need to translate, use Dipo rather than
io ho tradotto il libro, tu lo
or...
sai. Il libro di Italiani Nomad, io l'ho tradotto in questo modo, con lo scanner, perché Sherry me l'avevo mandato in PDF. Il PDF io l'ho trasformato in Word, da Word l'ho portato in Google Translate e lui me l'ha tradotto. Ovviamente bisogna rileggerlo perché alcune cose...
Sì, obviously you have to read it again, take a look.
Te le trasforma, il senso del discorso non si capisce bene. Però se lo rileggi riesci un po' a sistemare in qualche modo.
Deepl,
io il libro
in
ce l'ho
futuro
già,
ti accorgerai che Deepl è molto più affinato, molto più preciso, molto più vicino a come poi tu, affidabile, a come tu lo diresti davvero in italiano poi.
Però sai, col computer è più semplice poi anche sistemare il tutto, perché tu ti metti con la tastiera e ci sono delle frasi da sistemare, col computer devi fare meglio rispetto a un telefono.
Senti, ma questo libro
Italiani Nomad, io poi qualche giorno ve lo regalo perché l'ho fatto la traduzione. Ce l'ho, uno l'ho stampato per me molto piccolo, si dovrebbe stampare un po' più grande.
Potrei stamparlo io. Mi potrei stampare io la mia copia, non ti preoccupare.
Sì, basta che glielo mandiamo.
Poi te
Io ce l'ho in inglese, soltanto
io
in
l'ho
inglese.
tradotto tutto, ce l'ho conservato nel mio computer. Qualche giorno te lo mando, se poi te lo puoi stampare. Si potrebbe anche donare, io lo dovrei donare a scuola, il lavoro l'ho fatto, anche se ci sono alcune parti che non si riesce a capire, non me l'ha saputo spiegare neanche Sherry, manca proprio qualche dato.
There are some parts that are very hard to be understood. About the book Italians in Omaha.
Ci sono delle parti
one of my goals when I will move back to Carlentini is to go to the library of Lentini, because I remember when I was a child, I used to go very often to the library in Lentini, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know why I have this fatal attraction, a voice is calling me, that over there are interesting and very useful books. Nick, I'm sending to you some part of this book, seeing that we are talking about Halloween. Maybe is a lot to share, 2.5 pages.
but this is what it says about today, or better, November 3rd, Sense and Souls. Would you like
November
to read
3rd,
it?
1989. Dear Anne, everyone here is coming down from the Halloween sugar high, but I must say the children had a great holiday and really the best of both worlds. Halloween on base, then the Italian All Saints and All Souls Day. There are special skull and bone cookies in the bars, and children are surprised by gifts left, according to tradition, by dead ancestors. It is my understanding that Italian children receive more gifts now than they do at Christmas. So I got a few things and surprised the children. I did not tell them they were from the dead relatives. That part was a bit too far for me, but the Italians told me that it was not strange for their children because they frequently visit the graveyard to converse and commune with the departed. When in Rome, huh? Only a few more weeks until I see you in London. I'm counting the days and just hoping that Etna doesn't blow her top before I make my escape. My reservation is confirmed for Radford Farm for my first night. And friend just came back from London and saw 2 plays and had great fun, but she said everything was expensive and advised me to bring lots of money. My sidekick friend Jackie is leaving today for a week in Germany. Jackie is so funny. Well, Eleonora, did you want to translate the
Yeah, ok. Allora, cara Anna, qui ti stanno scendendo dall'alto, dalla festa dallo zucchero alto di Halloween, ma devo dire che i bambini hanno trascorso una vacanza fantastica, è davvero il meglio di entrambi i mondi. Halloween alla base, poi ogni santo italiano è la commemorazione dei defunti, perché lei è alla base di Sigonella. Ci sono speciali biscotti con teschi e ossa nei bar e i bambini vengono sorpresi dai doni lasciati secondo la tradizione dagli antenati dai vecchi morti. Mi risulta che i bambini italiani ricevono più regali ora di quanti ne ricevono a Natale, quindi ho ricevuto alcune cose e ho sorpreso i bambini. Non ho detto loro che provenivano dai parenti morti, quella parte è un po' troppo lontana per me, ma gli italiani mi hanno detto che non era strano per i loro figli perché visitano spesso il cimitero per conversare e comunicare con i defunti. Quando a Roma, mancano soltanto poche settimane prima di vederti a Londra, sto contando i giorni e spero solo che l'Etna non le faccia saltare in aria prima di scappare. La mia prima prenotazione è confermata per Radford Farm per la mia prima notte. Un'amica è appena tornata da Londra e ha visto 2 spettacoli, si è molto divertita, ma ha detto che era tutto costoso. Yeah, you can keep going, Nick.
My sidekick friend, Jackie, is leaving today for a week in Germany. Jackie is so funny, literally the best sense of humor and so outrageous. I probably would have had several mental breakdowns without her. Meeting her in the hotel when we first arrived was a real gift. She keeps me laughing. She and her husband Rex are stationed here for 3 years and she hates the place. Her take on everything Sicilian is so amusing. She can't understand why I would like to live here at all. She is a very positive person and keeps me entertained, especially how she characterizes Sicily and the Sicilians. Her depiction of Sicilian life is hilarious, as she really does think it is a third world country. She sees her stay here as punishment and prefers a more 4-star lifestyle. What I see as rustic and charmingly provincial, she sees as backward and savage. So why don't you do that paragraph?
Oh, savage, ok. La mia amica Jackie, la mia amica Jackie parte oggi per una settimana in Germania. Jackie è così divertente, letteralmente ha il miglior senso dell'umorismo che abbia mai sentito, così oltraggioso. Probabilmente avrei avuto seri crolli mentali senza di lei. Incontrarla in hotel quando siamo arrivati per la prima volta è stato un vero regalo, mi fa ridere. Lei e suo marito Rex sono di casa qui da oltre 3 anni e odia questo posto. La sua interpretazione di tutto ciò che è siciliano è così divertente. Non riesce a capire perché mi piacerebbe vivere qui. È una persona molto positiva e mi fa divertire, soprattutto come caratterizza la Sicilia e i siciliani. La sua rappresentazione della vita siciliana è esilarante perché pensa davvero che sia un paese del terzo mondo, vede il suo soggiorno qui come una punizione e preferisce uno stile di vita più a 4 stelle. Quello che vedo come rustico e deliziosamente provinciale lo considera arretrato e selvaggio.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure why she considers this person positive. It doesn't sound like she has a very good attitude
Nick
about
si dice, non so
Sicily.
perché la consideri molto positiva questa sua amica. Hi Jim, ok my dear, thank you, ciao, ciao Jim.
Ciao Jim.
She says,
Maybe.
I was with her at the Mota market on Wednesday, and we were looking at all the cheeses. There are whole stalls dedicated to at least 20 different kinds, soft, hard, grated, in wheels, some shot through with peppercorns and spices. I was remarking how the Italians seemed just crazy about it. And she said, yes, they put it on everything, even their cereal. Gullible Bee said, really? That's amazing. And of course, she laughed and said, I'm just kidding. The funny thing was, I believed her since I wouldn't doubt it. They literally do put it on almost everything else. She is an amazing woman who can make any situation funny. I am so glad I met her. Jackie is a beautiful soul, but she doesn't see what I see on this island.
Yeah, it's nice to see the way she's underlining the differences between, I mean, two different girls. Ok, allora ero con lei al mercato di Motta mercoledì e stavamo guardando tutti i formaggi. Ci sono intere bancarelle dedicate ad almeno una vetrina di specie diverse, morbide, dure, grattugiate, a ruota, alcune cosparse di spezie e pepe. Stavo osservando come gli italiani sembrino pazzi per questo formaggio e lei ha detto sì, lo mettono su tutto, anche sui cereali, cioè sul latte la mattina. Stavo scherzando. La cosa divertente è che le ho creduto perché non avrei mai dubitato, l'hanno messo generosamente su quasi tutto il resto. È una donna straordinaria che può rendere divertente qualsiasi situazione, sono così felice di averla incontrata. Jackie è un'anima bellissima, ma non vede quello che vedo io su quest'isola. Same island to different eyes.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to finish the page. On Sunday, we went to the Pantalica Gorge, about halfway to Siracusa. From here, about an hour's drive. The cliffs contain prehistoric tombs that are carved out of the side of the white stone mountains. The whole side of the gorge is, and we'll finish when we change pages.
Sì. Domenica siamo andati alle Gole di Pantalica, a circa metà strada da Siracusa e a circa un'ora di macchina. Le scogliere contengono tombe preistoriche che sono scavate nel lato mentre si nasconde, sarà la gola. L'intero lato della gola è, e poi c'è l'ultima pagina, la mezza pagina. Interessante questo libro perché fa anche viaggiare.
Honeycombed with them, and it made a very interesting hike. The area is referred to as a necropolis, which literally means city of the dead. Our hike was our tip of the hat, I guess, to All Souls Day, November 2nd, the day of the departed. Hello?
Eleonora, dove sei?
Okay, well, I'm going to finish the page and hopefully she'll be back. Are you back?
Sì, sorry, my battery lost died.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's fine. I'm back. Did you finish the page?
So the first paragraph.
Till Tela, the
Yeah, honeycombed with them, and it made a very interesting hike.
An interesting hike. Ok, I'm going to read it all. I have translated all. So, la prima gola è a nido d'ape e con loro ho fatto un'escursione molto interessante. L'area è indicata come necropoli, che tra l'altro significa città dei morti. La nostra escursione è stata la nostra punta di diamante. X, la commemorazione dei defunti, 2 novembre. Giorno dei defunti, la mia ultima grande scoperta è stato un negozio di antiquariati a Mister Bianco. Fino a qua c'era? Ho comprato 2 fantastici dipinti su tela, entrambi sono montati su ganci di ottone e sembrano qualcosa che potrebbe essere appeso nella camera da letto di un papa nel 1500. Il commerciante ha detto che in realtà risalgono al XVIII secolo e sembrano così vecchi. Entrambi raffigurano una donna e un bambino. Uno è sicuramente una Madonna e l'altro è una riproduzione del noto dipinto La Zingarella, la Madonna della Gitana, padrona dei viandanti e dei senza tetto. Nick, where were you?
I'll just start with where I was. My latest big find has been an antique store in Mister Bianco. I bought 2 amazing canvas paintings. They both are mounted on brass hangers and look like something that might have hung in a pope's bedroom in the 1500s. The dealer said they actually date to the 18th century, and they do look that old. Both depict a woman and child. One is definitely a Madonna, and the other is a reproduction of the well-known painting La Zingarella, the Gypsy Madonna, patron saint of travelers and the homeless. Seems appropriate for me, I think. Anyway, I love them both, and I am now thinking of starting a Madonna collection since I don't collect anything. I doubt I will get very far with that idea because I think I am more of a sieve than a vault. You are the vault. No other breaking news, so I'll close for now. Be careful and please don't sprain an ankle or anything to hinder the trip. I just die of disappointment. Love you, Susanna, Baronessa di Gypsy Souls.
Bellissimo. Allora, quindi ha comprato questi 2 quadri, La Zingarella, la Madonna Gitana, padrona dei viandanti e dei senza tetto. Mi sembra appropriato, credo. A ogni modo li adoro entrambi e ora sto pensando di iniziare una collezione di Madonne, dato che non colleziono nulla. E dubito che andrò molto lontano con quest'idea, perché penso di essere più un setaccio che un cavò. Tu sei il cavò? Così me l'ha tradotto Google. Non ci sono altre ultime notizie, quindi per ora chiudo. Fai attenzione, per favore, non slogarti una caviglia o altro per ostacolare il viaggio. Morirei dalla delusione, soltanto dalla delusione. Ti amo, Susanna, baronessa delle anime gitane, zingare. Sì, zingare. Gypsy.
Okay, so
it has a nice spirit.
I need to close out my computer and depart from this room since I need to be out of here by 4 o'clock. So it's.
I think it has been a great meeting.
It has been fantastical.
We added a new habit, like sharing a letter we read for the first time simultaneously. This will be very helpful for those who wants to ameliorate their language. And we haven't dedicated so much time to the genealogical pure research, but it was nice to share all of the different habits that we have in our countries. Thank you. Sharing is caring. Allora, sì, Deborah.
Thank you, thank you.
Grazie a tutti. E stasera è stata una serata un po' diversa.
Posso chiederti se mi ripeti il titolo del libro che hai appena tradotto?
Oh, mi è caduto sopra il calendar. Scusate, Between the Lines.
Between the Lines. Quindi You and Me in Sicily. Ok, lo devo andare a cercare.
Sì, lo trovi su Amazon.
Perfetto,
Want
ok.
to download the chat log? If you can open the chat meeting chat, there's down in the bottom bar next to the screen, share screen button, there's a little thing that
In
says chat, and that
basso
will
c'è la
open
piccola
that.
icona della chat.
You know, what I was
Ehm,
thinking I will start doing is I will email the chat to everybody on the list. Just so we all have.
lo può mandare via email a tutti quanti, a quelli che sono nella lista.
Ok, va bene.
All right, well, we
Grazie.
see you next week.
Sì, alla
Ok.
prossima
La
settimana.
prossima
See you next
settimana.
week.
Ciao a
Bye.
tutti.
Vediamo la
Grazie.
prossima
Ciao.
settimana.
tutti.
Ti abbraccio.
Ciao a
Ciao.
tutti. Ciao, ciao a tutti.
Ciao.
Ciao.